Good morning. My name is Andy, and today I will be playing the New York Times Flashback for May 17th, 2025. This is a weekly history game in which you have to guess where certain events are placed relative to each other, and you kind of already know what the instructions are, so I'm just gonna dive right in. Alright. The barcode debuts. One of its creators thought of it at the beach while drawing lines in the sand. That's funny. Um, the Normans were first recorded flying a large banner on their ships to warn their enemies of hostile intentions. It's a giant red flag. Okay, obviously, this is going to be way before. When were the Normans around? It's got to be like, hmm, probably before the 10th century, or maybe around the 10th century, 11th century. That would be my guess. 1290s. Okay, sort of off. King of Siam offers a gift of elephants to America to be used as pack animals on the frontier. Lincoln politely declined, saying steam power works just fine. Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, few keywords here. See Lincoln, so I would say it's like 1860s. And then you also have Siam, which is like the original name of Thailand. Um, before, I think it had its name changed like back in 30s or something. Because like it wasn't called Thailand then. I think it was something. It was still called Siam. And I guess like I've never played Risk, but I think Siam was one of the names of the countries. So I would say, yeah. I mean, I digress though. Yeah, this will take place in like the 60s. 62. Okay. The Friedman sisters, who are identical twins, each began writing an advice column. One is known as Ann Landers, and the other is Dear Abby. I've heard of that name, but I'm pretty sure this was a really long time ago. Probably in the 30s, 40s. I don't think it's after 74. This one I'm not 100% sure on. I'm just gonna guess 55. Okay, that's a little later than I thought. All right. The first U.S. air traffic controller, Archie League, is hired. The first control tower is a wheelbarrow with an umbrella attached. That is really interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is going to be after the advent of aviation, which was like what, early 20th century. I mean, I guess you had the Wright brothers, and then, after that, commercial airlines started to become a thing. Um, and this also seems really old. So I would think probably like the 20s, the 30s. Because I mean, I guess kind of have to think about when aviation safety was a thing. So that would be my best guess. Let's 29. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Alexander Graham Bell wants people to answer the telephone his recent invention with ahoy, but Thomas Edison popularizes a new greeting, hello. Wow, that's very interesting. Uh, yeah, this has got to be like late 19th century. I'm pretty sure as to when. Probably like the 1880s. Uh, yeah, that sounds correct. Hmm. Let me think. Yeah, yeah, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, communications like this didn't really even exist until, the late 19th century, whether it was like Thomas Edison or like Marconi or whoever, like, they didn't have improved communications until like a lot later. Okay, so I'm gonna put put in between 62 and 29, say 1880, 1890, 77. Okay, that works. To shorten a traditional phrase of farewell, God be with thee, a new English word is first written. Goodbye. Interesting. So we had hello, and now we have goodbye. Hmm. Shorten a tradition. Now, I guess this is like when the question you have to ask yourself is like, when did we start having like modern English? Because there was obviously there was a time where the language has shifted. So you start from like speaking Old English, like Shakespearean English, I guess, to speaking English of today. I mean, it's evolved over time, but I guess there's like a time where there was like a really drastic shift. So I mean, yeah, it's got to be in between these two. A new English word is first written. Yeah, I would say it's 17th century. Hmm, I don't know exactly, but I think putting in between these two events is a pretty safe bet. 1573, okay. Gottfried Leibniz writes a paper that helps pioneer calculus, the study of infinite series and rates of change. Even mathematicians find it a bit hard to understand. Well, hmm. So, I mean, he pioneered calculus. So, this is probably before, like, the time of Isaac Newton, because I think he was also one of the people who contributed to, like, math and calculus. Yeah, this sounds like someone from the 16th century or even the 17th century. Because I guess now you have to think about math become like a huge thing, and I think it would be somewhere between here. I don't remember when he was alive. Maybe he was like a contemporary of Newton. Um, yeah, I would say it's somewhere between these two. 1684. Okay. Brazil wins independence from Portugal. To make a clean break, Brazil grants citizenship not by ancestry, which could still be Portuguese, but by birthplace. Okay. Oh, this one's tricky. Hmm. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. Hmm. So, um, I'm trying to think about like when did a lot of these South American countries become independent? I'm I immediately start thinking about like Simone Bolivar, who was around in the 19th century, I believe. So I would place him somewhere in the 19th century, but I don't know where. Like at this point, it's sort of a crapshoot. I mean, it could be later than that, for all we know. Hmm, Brazil. Shoot, I don't remember when it became independent. I would think it's still kind of fairly recent, though, right? Well, hold on, let me think. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's kind of a shot in the dark. I don't know when it could be. I don't think it's going to be before 62. It could be after 62, before 77, or it could actually be just after 77. What is more likely? I think it's more likely that it's after 77, because I think we want like kind of a spread of events. Like, the spread between 62 and 77 is quite short. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's more likely that it happened after 77. And I guess you think about it, like around that time, that's when European countries started to like lose their grasp on a lot of these countries, not just in like South America, talking about Africa, maybe even like Asia, Australia, even, Canada, like didn't really become independent until like the late 19th century, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that sounds right. Yeah, so I think it's essentially kind of like a chain effect of sorts where one country starts to become independent, and then a whole bunch of other countries also start fighting for independence. Um, I don't know. That seems like my best guess. Oh, 1822. Oh man, I was so late. Oh man, I'm always getting the last one wrong. I mean, I've gotten it all right before, but I don't know. It's just a string of bad luck, I guess. Okay, yeah. So I got 24 points, and looks like most people got that many points as well. Ah, oh well. I'll I'll get it next time, hopefully. Yeah, but hey, I guess I learned something new with like Brazil becoming independent in 1822. It's a lot earlier than I thought, because I thought it would be a lot later. Oh well. Well, I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of Flashback. I hope to see you all another time.